Hey, it's Christian Martin here. Welcome to Finalizing Your Offer. I am so excited for you because after you complete this section, it's going to start to feel like you have a real live consulting business. You have an offer to take out to the world. You have an offer that's going to help people, that's going to transform lives. So let's just jump right in and get this thing moving. We're going to start with exercise 5 in our module worksheet. So you've been working through this worksheet for this entire module. Go ahead and jump in there and you'll see that exercise 5 is to list the top 3 most painful, pressing problems in your niche right now. Now you should have these written down already in your customer avatar worksheet, and you probably have them in your one-page avatar doc in the summary. So go ahead and just pull the biggest problems from that document, take them over to this module worksheet, and we're going to move on to exercise number 6. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to choose which of those painful problems you should go after. So what you're going to do is write down your market. You're going to say my market or niche is, the painful problem I am solving is, and the way that I will solve this problem is. So you want to pick a problem that you can solve with the skill set you have, a skill set you can learn, or a skill set that you can hire out. So try and pick the most painful problem there you think is the most pressing for people that are willing to pay to have it solved and that you're going to be able to come up with a solution for. And then move on to exercise number 7. Now, if you're saying, I don't know exactly how to solve this problem yet, don't worry about that, okay? Pick the most painful problem and we'll figure out how to provide the solution if you don't know exactly how to do that yet. Exercise number 7. This is our first offer equation. So it goes something like this. How to do an awesome thing without something that sucks. In other words, how to reach your goal without something that you don't want to do. So what does that look like? How to travel the world without quitting your job. Okay, how to get big acting gigs without moving to Hollywood. So you want to choose, what do people want? They want big acting gigs if you're working with actors. What do they not want to do to get there? They don't want to move to Hollywood. So go ahead and look at your customer avatar doc and pick out what people really want the most based on one of those big 3 problems. And then what do they not want to do to get there? What do they say, I could do that, but I'd have to move to Hollywood and I don't want to do that. So that should be the second half of your equation. So how to land big clients without decades of experience. How to land big press like Wired, TechCrunch, and Hacker News without hiring a 5-figure-a-month PR rep. So a business, of course, is going to want to land press, right? They're going to want to land things like Wired and TechCrunch and Hacker News if you're in the tech industry. But why aren't you going to do that? Because you have to hire a 5-figure-a-month PR firm to get there. How to close high-ticket sales without getting on the phone. So what do people want? What do they not want to do to get there? Now, I might sound like a broken record, but as you already know, repetition is the mother of learning, so I'm okay with it. Your offer will evolve, okay? You're not married to your market, you're not married to your customer avatar, and you're not married to your offer, so don't worry about being perfect. Done is much better than perfect. Your offer will inevitably change as you get on strategy sessions and you get feedback from the market and see how people respond to what you have to offer. So seek out feedback, be curious instead of defensive, ask good questions, and do everything you can to find out what your prospect actually wants and is willing to pay for right now. You have 2 options when it comes to your offer. The first option is a done-for-you offer. If you've never gotten results for your market before, or for this specific problem before, chances are you're going to use a done-for-you model. That means your prospect is going to pay you to do the work for them. You're going to get them results, and then you're going to parlay those results into testimonials, case studies, and referrals, and take what you learn to build your system and a repeatable process that you can use to do the second option, which is done with you. So this is the easier one to sell, done for you, and it's the fastest path to cash. So an example of a done for you program would be my Facebook ad client. So I have clients who I do Facebook advertisements and I do all of that for them. An example of a done with you program would be this program you're in right now, okay? We're doing this together. I'm not doing all the work for you. You have to show up and put in some work. So done with you is great if you have already gotten results for your market. You have the case studies, you have the testimonials, and you have the process to get results dialed in. If you're this far along, then we're going to use the done with you model. Why? Because it's much more profitable, and you're going to build an asset that will allow you to leverage your time, make a lot more money, and get better results for your clients. So if you're here, don't be discouraged. This is an awesome place to be, and it's a place where you can make money very quickly. If you're a little more advanced, you're going to be here. If you're starting out with done for you, eventually you will move to done with you. So either way, this is where you're going to end up. So done with you is what this program is built on right now. You go through the program, you do the work for yourself, and I will help you refine and optimize, okay? You get to reach out via email, and I'm going to make sure you get the results that you're looking for. So I'm doing the work with you rather than for you. Now, since I don't have to do all the work for you, I can spend more time making my program better and better and better, and you will benefit as a result. You still get the personalized touch of coaching and feedback, but you have to make the effort to learn the core concepts of the system. So if you already have results for your industry, I want you to use this model. So now we have a market, a problem, and a method, as well as a business model. And now we have the basics of your offer. But I have to tell you something. The result of your offer is the most important thing, okay? It doesn't matter what business model you use, you have to get a result. So transformation is what you're selling. Whether you're doing the work or your client is doing the work, what you're actually selling is transformation, not information. Not your method, not the features or the details of your program. So when you're talking to clients, don't talk all about what's in the program. Don't talk about how many videos there are or how it's going to be delivered. Talk about the results that they're going to get. You want to focus on the painful situation they're in right now, what it's costing them to not fix that situation, and then what it's going to be like to be in their ideal situation. That's what you're selling, is the path from pain to their ideal situation. So your client doesn't care about you. They don't care how many hours you're going to put in for your offer. Don't talk about how many hours it's going to take. Don't talk about your hourly rate. They don't care what your credentials are or where you went to school. All they care about is results. And we talk about this over and over again. So when you present your offer to your market, don't start talking about yourself. Don't talk about deliverables or how much time you're going to spend. Keep it focused on your client. Talk about where they are now, what it's costing them to stay there, and talk about getting them the results that they want. Now, regardless of which model you're using, we need to outline your program so that if your prospect asks at the end of a strategy session, you can give them the outline. You're not going to lead with this. You'll learn how to do this in the selling module, okay? You're not going to give this outline to them unless they ask for it. And that's because we're focusing on selling them out of a bad situation and into a good situation. Now, outlining your offer is quick and easy if you've done the research and you have your customer avatar done. I want to urge you to keep your offer to the bare minimum needed to get results. So only include the 20% of work that's going to get 80% of the results. Okay, you don't need extraneous stuff that's going to make a marginal difference. You need the big pieces that are going to get your client where they need to go. So your prospect, your client, is not paying for information. They don't need to know everything that you know, okay? They really don't. Your job is not to teach them things. It's to get them results. It's to help them smash through obstacles. So in your program, your modules should not be about what and how. They should be about how to smash through obstacles and get your client to the next level. So learning in theory for your client is generally a waste of time. What they really want is the results. Give them the bare minimum to get there and nothing else. Give them clarity. People are burdened with information overload and analysis paralysis. So don't give them options. Don't say you could do this, or this. Give them certainty and say this is the path to get where you want to go. We're going to move on to exercise 8 in the module worksheet right now. So head on over to your module worksheet and then fill in your point A. This is the painful situation that your client is in right now. And then fill in point B. This is their ideal situation. And begin by writing down the 5 biggest obstacles standing in between point A and point B based on your customer avatar research. So you've seen this diagram before. Here we are. Point A is the pain. Point B is the ideal situation. What is stopping them from achieving point B? Now you're not going to make this stuff up, okay? How are you going to figure it out if you're not going to make it up? You're going to ask your client, where do you want to be, or your prospective client during your avatar research. And then you're going to ask them, what is stopping you from getting there on your own? And that's where you're going to get your program from. So list the 5 biggest obstacles that your prospect has. And if you're doing done for you, list the 5 steps necessary to get your client to point B. So if those obstacles are something you're going to handle for them, instead of just show them how to solve, go ahead and just list those there as well. Here's a couple examples. If you have a real estate offer, which is close your first rental property in the next 60 days without using any of your own money, your obstacles might be getting a loan, evaluating property, making offers, fixing the property and hiring a crew, selling the property, and finding your next one. If you have an offer in public relations, like get published in 30 days without hiring a 5-figure-a-month PR firm. The obstacles might be finding the right publication, telling your story, pitching reporters, planning a launch, turning readers into leads, and forming long-term alliances. So this is a mixture between what you found in your research on the market and what your client has actually said to you. So your client might not know that they need to turn readers into leads. Okay, maybe they just haven't even thought about that yet. But you found in your research that this is an essential part of getting a return on investment on public relations efforts. So you're going to include that anyways. Like I said, your main focus is what is going to provide results. Go ahead and ask your prospect, what's stopping you from achieving your ideal situation on your own? And if you're having problems with this, go ahead and just call them up and say, what's stopping you from achieving this? And they'll tell you. Again, I've said it before, include only the bare minimum needed to get results. It's not your job to flood them with information, okay? It's your job to provide the result. Include the bare minimum or you will overwhelm them and they will be unhappy, okay? We want happy clients. And another way we do that is by giving them success right off the bat. So you want to get your clients' results as fast as possible and you want to instill confidence in them immediately so that they begin to take more action towards their goal. And action is what's going to get them results. So because of this, you want to try and put the most important thing first and give them a quick win right off the bat if possible. So what can they do immediately to have a small success? So if we go back to the real estate example, if they go out and they get qualified for a loan, they're going to feel like they're making progress and like they're one step closer to actually buying their first investment property. In the PR example, if they find the right publication, they now know exactly who they're going to pitch. They're going to feel like they're one step closer, and they're going to have more confidence that this process is going to get results. Now, your consulting program is not meant to be a course like this one you're in right now. This has been tested and proven with dozens of coaches and consultants over a couple of years, okay? It didn't start out as a course. It started out much more adaptable. So your offer doesn't have to be rigid, and you can mold your offer to whoever you're talking to. You want to present yourself as the solution to their problem. So if their problem is slightly different once you get on a strategy session and you know you can solve it with your program, go ahead and present the version of your consulting offer that solves their problem, okay? So maybe that means it's a 10-week engagement instead of an 8-week engagement. Or maybe they need a little extra help in one area and you can provide a template for a specific thing that you don't provide to your other clients, okay? So be adaptable. Until you've gone through this process about a dozen times, you want to mold your offer to your clients. So Bruce Lee says you must be shapeless, formless, like water. When you pour water in a cup, it becomes the cup. When you pour water in a bottle, it becomes the bottle. When you pour water in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Water can drip and it can crash. Become like water, my friend. So your job is to be the solution to their problem and to get them results. And you're going to be fluid in order to do this. So here's a couple examples of obstacles in a done-for-you offer. Example number 1 is Facebook ads. So the obstacles, i.e. what you're going to do for your client, might look like this. Week 1, market research and planning. Week 2, building out the campaign and landing pages. Week 3, going live and collecting test data. Week 4, collecting test data and determining key performance metrics week4/forecasting future results. Week 5, record and go live with your webinar. And week 6, continued testing and optimization. Here's an example of a done with you offer. Let's say this is for a dating coach who has a new program. He's going to figure out the 6 obstacles to getting his client results. So that might be week 1, figuring out who you are and what you're looking for, who you're looking for. Week 2 might be optimizing your online dating profiles. Week 3 might be successful first messages and setting up a date. Week 4 might be fashion, flirting, and first date success. Week 5 might be second date onward. And week 6 could be maintaining a successful relationship. Are you seeing how this all works? So go over to your module worksheet and complete the exercises right now. Then we have one more. We have exercise 9 in the module worksheet. This is finalizing the offer. So here's a little formula. It is, I help target market solve and achieve desired result without pain so they can get benefit. Now, what does that actually look like in practice? Here's example number 1. I help roofing companies reach homeowners eligible for insurance claims without door knocking so they can double their revenue. Do you think if an insurance company saw that offer, they would be interested? Yes, they would be, because it is specific, it contains a benefit for them, it is not about me, and it addresses the number 1 objection they're going to have. They're going to say, oh, what is it, door knocking? We don't want to do that. So I'm going to say without door knocking, and then I'm going to figure out how to get that done. Example number 2, I help busy couples on the brink of divorce save their marriage without extensive counseling so they can be present for their children. So if a busy couple wants to save their marriage, but their number 1 objection is, I don't want to go to counseling all the time and talk about my feelings. Maybe you're a marriage counselor and you can figure out a better way for them, or at least you can position it differently so they don't have such harsh objections to doing it, okay? Example number 3, I help aspiring world traveling consultants replace their income so they can quit their job and travel the world. Does that look familiar? Yeah, it should. Now, in the module worksheet, just below this offer formula is this little word puzzle right here. And I want you to fill this out so you understand the value you're offering to your prospect and you understand the obligation you have to reach your prospect, to sell them into your consulting offer, and to help them get a result. So this puzzle goes like this. Without me, these people will struggle. Fill in the struggle. This means they'll expand on the struggle, but with my help, these people will, examples of how working with you will impact them. This benefits them because, and then expand on the benefits. So I want you to fill this in for your own offer so you start to internalize this. Here's an example. Without me, these people will be stuck in the 9-to-5 building someone else's dream. This means they will sit through rush hour, work in a cubicle, never leave their hometown, and they won't have time to spend with their kids. But with my help, these people will be able to quit their job, find meaning in their work, and work from anywhere in the world. This benefits them because they'll have flexibility with their time, their finances, and their lives. Now, how do you think I feel reading this? Do you think I'm more motivated to go out there and help more people? Do you think I feel like it's actually in my client's best interest to sell them into this program? Yeah, I do. So this is going to help, especially if you're not used to being in business for yourself and you have to accept money from people. So it can be very difficult to accept and to be able to receive. When you read this, this is going to make it a lot easier. So exercise number 10, we got one more. Finalizing your offer. Now, we've been through this again and again. One of the reasons is it helps to do it a couple times in a row, and we're just doing it with slight variations just to see what comes out, okay? So this is basically the same thing we've been doing. I help niche to get result without objection by method. I help new moms lose the last 10 pounds of baby fat in only 20 minutes a day by getting their body into ketosis. Do you think if I showed this offer to a new mom who was trying to lose weight but didn't have enough time in her day and hadn't been successful with the method she was trying, do you think she would be interested in talking about this? Do you think she'd want to jump on a free strategy session to find out how this works? I can tell you she absolutely would be. So this is how specific I need your offer to be. I need you to address the primary benefit that your market is looking for. I need you to address the primary objection they have to getting that benefit. And I need you to be very specific about who you're targeting and what problem they have. And if you can do that, it's going to make everything else in your business easier. We're going to go out there and we're going to start getting you clients, and it's going to be awesome. So go through this, fill that offer out for yourself, and then you're going to list my done for you service includes and my done with you program includes. So you can go ahead and list the 5 obstacles, the 6 obstacles there. Again, remember, it usually looks like this. Week 1 is obstacle 1, week 2 is obstacle 2. So it's really straightforward. Just list those out as the 6 weeks. And once you finalize your offer, I want you to add it to the top of your goals worksheet for daily review and practice. Now, if you remember week 1 of this program, you filled out your goals and you should be reviewing those every single day. So I want you to put your offer at the very top of that because that's the foundation of accomplishing all these goals. And I want you to go ahead and take this slide, the one where you work through this formula, and I want you to put that just under your offer. So every day in the morning, you're going to read this formula for your offer, and then underneath it, you're going to read the reason why you're doing this. Now, I have 2 last pieces of advice before I let you go to finalize your offer. Number 1 is become a monopoly. Money loves monopolies. And number 2 is to own it. So number 1, here's a little breakdown from a mentor of mine, and I'm going to read it to you very quickly. He says, CEOs get paid 11 times more than the average worker because generally they are 11 times harder to replace. This holds true for biz peeps, big or small. The harder your service or products are to replace in the marketplace, the more money you'll command with more ease. Because how quickly prospects see your uniqueness often determines how quickly you'll convert. If there's any friction that they can get what you offer cheaper or somewhere else, the more likely you are to hear, let me think about it, and then have them vanish. A mini monopoly may be the greatest wallet lube known to man. When they know you've got the only solution to their problem and it's not available cheaper anywhere, business shall be done often on your terms. Now you might be saying, how do I become a monopoly? Well, the easiest way to become a monopoly is to specialize and own a small niche. So be the very best in the world at what you do for a very specific group of people with a very specific problem, okay? Just like we talked about in the offer formula. And the second thing was own it. It is your job to provide certainty to your client. Kurt Vonnegut said, we are whatever we pretend to be. If you're bashful about your offer, you'll never grow into it, okay? You don't get successful by playing small. You have to start to think like the successful version of yourself. Pretend you've already made it and act like you would if you were already successful. Think like the person you want to be would think. Successful people get results because they act successful. They pitch themselves, they believe in themselves, they promise results because they know they can deliver. They have behaviors of a successful person. If you've gotten results in the past, believe that you can get them in the future. If you haven't, believe that you're going to work it out. And if you don't, everything is going to be okay and you will push through, okay? I know you may not feel like you're enough when you start to sell your new offer, but if you can just get your first couple of clients and see that you really do provide immense value and transformation to them, you will establish a positive feedback loop and you will start to believe in yourself. So this is the hardest part, is pre-positive feedback loop. If we can get you to the point where you have paying clients and you see the results they get and you see the money in your bank account, everything else is going to get a whole lot easier, okay? So be the person you need to be successful. Muhammad Ali said, to be a great champion, you must believe you are the best, and if you're not, pretend you are. I will leave you on that. Go fill out the rest of your Module 1 worksheet, and I'll see you on the other side.